This is chapter number 11, the making of the national movement. Now, Gandhiji. Now, he emerged as a mass leader, Mahatma Gandhi, because under those circumstances, India was really needing for a mass leader. When he was 46, he arrived from South Africa in 1915. Now, when he was in South Africa, he led various non violent marches, and this was against the racism. So, what we see here is this is a picture of South Africa only. So, he was doing all that demonstration and the Dharna Pradarshan there also. That is why he was internationally known and he was known as a respected leader. And because for this campaign, he came into contact with Hindu, Muslim, Parsis, Christian, Gujaratis, Tamil, North Indians, upper class, lower class, merchants, lawyers, workers, everyone. Everyone. Now I'll show you certain pictures here. Now this picture you see, this is the picture of Natal Congress. And this Natal Congress, so he was one of the founder member of this Natal Congress. In 1895, it was being established. And where is Mahatma Gandhi? The middle one. You see here, it is difficult to remember or say recognize him, but he is in between. So it was basically against the racial discrimination. The blacks and browns are treated differently than the whites. Now, if you see here, this is a picture of their name is just going to come. He is Mr. Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and here we have Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Gandhiji, when he came, the first year he came, the first year his guru, he advised him that you need to learn, you need to understand India first. So for one whole year, he was traveling across India to know what people are thinking, what are their needs, and what is the overall situation of the country. Then only he'll be able to do certain things which are required from him. So wherever he went, the local movements. So he led that movement, or his earliest interventions were there. So it started with Champaran, then Kheda, then Ahmedabad. And when he came, or when he led all these different movements, he came into contact with Dr. Rajendra Prasad and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And if I talk about Ahmedabad, he led mill workers strike in 1918. That is how, because he was natural leader and people were eyeing upon him. So he has to prove also. So that is how he proved, and those all were successful movements. So now I'll just show you these places. This is the Champaran, Kheda and Ahmedabad we talked about. Kheda and Ahmedabad in Gujarat and Champaran in Bihar, present day Bihar. So these are other places also being shown here, which are the important centers of Indian national movement. Chauri Chaura also is going to come. We'll talk about that, and Amritsar also, Jallianwala Bagh, and Dandi March, famous Dandi March. This is also we are going to talk. Rowlatt Satyagraha. Now, in order to understand this, we have to understand Rowlatt Act. So, in 1919, Gandhiji called everyone for a satyagraha. And this was against what? It was against the Rowlatt Act. So, the Rowlatt Act was passed, and against this Gandhiji said we have to do satyagraha. That is why it is called as Rowlatt Satyagraha. What was the problem? This Rowlatt Act were basically curbing or finishing the fundamental rights like freedom of expression. And also it is strengthening the police power, the British police power you can say. So in Rowlatt Act, what was being said? That anyone under suspicion, if you have suspicion on him, without any warrant, just on suspicion, he can be held in jail for 2 years without any trial. Please remember, without any trial. So this is just that anyone who is against Britishers, who is doing some demonstration, or whom they think that he or she is dangerous for our rule, they will just take him or her and put it behind the bars. Okay? So this was all about the Rowlatt Act. So Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Gandhi ji, all these national leaders, they knew that this is against the basic freedom. This is actually fundamental right beheading. That is why they criticized this act as devilish and being tyrannical. So, they know what will happen because, Jinnah was a lawyer. So they called this act because they knew the intricacy. That is why they called this act as devilish and tyrannical. Right? So Gandhiji asked 6th April 1919 to be observed as a day of non-violent opposition to this act. Gandhiji is equivalent to non-violent. Please remember this. Non-violent. Right? Non-violence. So what happened here? All hartals were done, demonstrations were done, satyagraha sabhas were set up. So this was the first satyagraha which was pan-India. Pan-India means it was observed all over India. All other movements before this were, somewhat local only. But this Rowlatt Satyagraha was all India, first of its kind. So as I said, in April 19, mostly the demonstration and hartals were done against this Rowlatt Satyagraha. So government will do what? The thing they know the best. Brutal measures. Damankari. So then happened Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So let me just show you what happened here. So here what happened? Here is a ground. Now Jallianwala Bagh. Now it was Baisakhi day and most of the people came here for Mela to enjoy Baisakhi. That is 13 April 1919. But some of them were against. They came for Satyagraha also. And at the same time, General Dyer came with his force and he just ordered point blank shooting, killing of people. That is massacre, Hatya Kand. So these all, they are armless. They are just ordinary people. And this picture shows these are the walled compound where the round is showing the marks of the bullet. This is the picture of Jallianwala Bagh. People cannot go anywhere. It was being all boundaried by the General Dyer and his men. So it was open fire on a gathering of people, and these are the bullet marks which are being pointed. Now when this happened, this was very brutal. Very brutal. Please remember, it was a very, in Punjab, Baisakhi is a most celebrated festival. And it happened in Amritsar. General Dyer did it. And 13th April 1919. So this is a very important date because Jallianwala Bagh massacre is always asked. So here, some of them were satyagrahis, but most of them were just normal people. So when it happened, Rabindranath Tagore, the most celebrated or most known person across the globe, he renounced his knighthood because he was in such a pain and anger because of this Jallianwala Bagh massacre. He said, I don't want this knighthood. Knighthood was if someone has done exceptional work, the Britishers or British government or crown will give this award for some excellent personal achievement and public service. So he just sent back his award. Now during this Satyagraha, Rowlatt Satyagraha, there is one more important thing which we noticed. Hindu and Muslims, because the tradition are different, cultures are different, so people always instigate, mainly the political parties, and there are certain people in both the communities, they fight. Normal Hindu Muslims, they are from ancient times, they are friends. They don't bother who is Hindu Muslim. But here in this Rowlatt Satyagraha, Hindu and Muslims, the unity of these two communities was incomprehensible. Gandhiji was saying this India belongs to everyone, Hindu, Muslim, and all other religion. And that is how these two communities came together for a single enemy, or the common enemy, which is the Britishers. Right? So this was one of the key points we can take out of this Rowlatt Satyagraha. Now I'll tell you about Khilafat agitation and non-cooperation movement. What happened here is Khilafat Andolan, Asahyog Andolan. So Khilafat agitation has nothing to do with Indian national movement. Please remember this. What happened here is, you see this is an Arab area. This is Arab area, and if you see this portion is Turkey. Basically this all area was under Ottoman Empire. So the Britishers along with their allies, what they did, they defeated the Khalifa or Caliphate of Ottoman Empire. Mainly the Caliphate or Khalifa is the religious Muslim leader all over world. Means all the Muslim, they see him, they treat him as their natural leader. But because the Ottoman Empire was defeated, a sandhi or a treaty, very brutal treaty, was imposed on this Ottoman Empire Khalifa. Now every Muslims all over world wanted that this shouldn't happen, right? So Khilafat movement is basically related to this. So every Muslim was against this. So Indian Muslims were also against this. So Khilafat movement 1919 and 24, it's an Islamic movement. And if you see in India, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, these are Ali brothers, they said that Britishers had done this. So India also have Britishers and they are also doing the wrong deeds. So we need to do the Khilafat movement against them in India also, being Muslim community. Right? We have in Hindu and Muslim community. So Muslim community also has to take action or stand against what is happening all over world because of the Angrez, because of the Britishers. So this Turkish Empire, as I said, it was ruled by a Khalifa, which was Ottoman Sultan, and it was attacked by European powers, that is Britishers and their allies. I hope you understand. This is the Khilafat movement. It has nothing to do with Indian national movement. It has to do with the Britishers, which they were doing outside. So in 1920, British imposed this harsh treaty against the Turkish Sultan, Ottoman Empire Sultan, or as we know him as Khalifa. And he was most respected Muslim leader across world for the Muslims. Okay, so you see here. So Indian Muslims, they wanted that this Khalifa should be allowed to retain control over these Muslim pavitra places, sacred places, which was earlier in the Ottoman Empire. So that is how other Muslims were also doing. So Indian Muslim also wanted that something is happening outside, and if it is going to affect us, we need to take stand against it. So as I said, the leaders of Khilafat agitation were basically those who started it, or those who said that we have to do this Khilafat. They were basically Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, which I showed you in the picture also. Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, and they requested Gandhiji that we need to please engage in this Khilafat agitation also. So Gandhiji saw this because it was already Hindu-Muslim were united in Rowlatt Satyagraha. So he said, okay, he urged Congress to start the Khilafat movement, to start the non-cooperation movement, and to start demanding for Swaraj. So Jallianwala massacre, Punjab wrongs were done. So he urged Congress to campaign against this Jallianwala massacre, Khilafat wrong, Khilafat Andolan, and demand for Purna Swaraj. Not Purna Swaraj, actually it was Swaraj. Purna Swaraj was something different by Mr. Tilak. Okay. So now all this started, and when it gained momentum, this Asahyog Andolan or non-cooperation movement, it gained momentum in 1921 and 1922. Why? Because the students left the government schools and colleges, and many known lawyers. You see here Motilal Nehru. He was the father of our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So Motilal Nehru and most respected from Bengal, it is C.R. Das, Chitrandan Das, and then we have C. Rajagopalachari. You know, he was also the first key person of India after independence. I'll talk about him. And also Asaf Ali. So all these, they left their practice. They were big, very respected lawyers. And many people, they just surrendered the titles being given by Britishers. For example, we just saw that Mr. Tagore, he surrendered this knighthood. And then the people, they were celebrating this using this bonfire. They were getting hold of foreign cloth and they were destroying it. Actually, they were putting them in fire. So it was a bonfire. That is, they were just against all this which are coming from foreign or from Britishers. And if you see, because of this in 1920 and 1922, in between, the import of foreign cloth also fell down. So 1920, 1922, you have to remember Asahyog Andolan, non-cooperation movement. And why this stopped also we talked about. We will just talk about. There was an incident. So what were people doing here? What were people doing here? See, everyone was involved, some or the other way. So Gandhiji was saying, no, first thing is ahinsatmak. That is, it has to be non-violent. Any kind of movement has to be non-violent. So it can be demonstration, it can be march, it can be public gatherings, it can be speeches, everything. So every class, every group, almost every, they all were there, but they were interpreting Gandhiji call in a different manner, in their own manner. Basically, the local problem, they attached this with the Gandhiji's call. That is, the Khilafat agitation, the non-cooperation movement, the Swaraj Abhiyan, all these, they took it in the way that their local problems is linked to this. Okay. So I'll just give an example of Kheda. What happened? Kheda, Gujarat, there was Patidar peasants, and they also organized non-violent campaigns against the high land revenue. Because the revenue or the tax were levied were very high. So they all, because it was a local problem, it was a local problem. So they also organized non-violent campaigns. So they listened to Gandhiji and they added their local problem in order to counter the high land revenue. Okay. And if I take you to coastal Andhra and the interior of Tamil Nadu, what we see here is there, the interior of this place, Tamil Nadu and coastal Andhra, the liquor shop, sharab ki dukane, they were picketed or gherao. That is, see, if people make a chain of some place, nobody can enter it. That is called picketing, gherao. I can take you to Guntur district of Andhra Pradesh also. Here what happened? The tribals and the poor peasant, the poor farmers, they were also doing satyagraha. They staged a number of forest satyagrahas. So forest satyagraha is basically against the problem of different laws and different acts being passed by the Britishers, which were against these tribals. Because tribals have come from forest. They know how to live in forest. And the Britisher has stopped them from going to the forest. So everyone was believing that Gandhiji would do something or he will bring these taxes down, reduce. And also all these forest regulation and kanuns and laws, this will be abolished because Gandhiji is there. So that is how everyone was thinking about Gandhi Raj, that Gandhi Raj will come. So if I take you to Sindh, which is not today in India, it is now in Pakistan. So in Pakistan, there is a place called Sindh. Sindhi people. That is how we call them Sindhi because they are from Sindh. So this Sindh, now in Pakistan, the Muslim leaders and the peasants, they got very happy, very enthusiastic, because the Gandhiji was also calling for Khilafat call. So it was basically for a Muslim leader, and Gandhiji has no, division for Hindu Muslims. He was taking India as a whole. So that is how this. See, I'll tell you about Picket. Picket, I told you about Mahants, religious functionaries of Sikh Gurdwaras. I am going to talk about. So in Punjab also something was happening. So all these, in every temple you will find some Mahants. So the Akali movement was basically against these Mahants. If there is a Gurdwara, there will be a Mahant, and this Mahant was basically supported by Britishers, and now he is running the Gurdwara. So now actual person whom Sikh want, he is not Mahant. The Mahant is supported by British. So Akali movement wanted these Mahants to be out of this Gurdwara, and actual Mahants which they supposed to put in there, they started this Akali movement. Then Assam, what for Assam is famous? Tea garden. So the tea garden laborers, they started chanting and shouting, Gandhi ji Maharaj ki jai, Gandhi Maharaj ki jai, Gandhi Maharaj ki jai. Because also they demanded for increase in their salary, increase in their wages, because they were powered by the idea that Gandhi Raj has to come. And most of them left the British owned plantation. The plantation which is owned by the British people, most of them, they left this plantation. Okay. Now these are different people doing different act. One more thing. Assamese, there is a song, Vaishnav song. Vaishnav song. So it is basically referring to the Krishna. And now what they did, they replaced the name of Krishna with Gandhi Raja. And now they are singing the same song, not with Krishna, Lord Krishna, but with Gandhi Raja. So what we see here is very important thing is, Gandhiji is now treated as a Mahatma. Mahatma means, Maha means very big, Atma is soul, very high standard, big soul. So you see here, he is Sarthi. Gandhiji is a Sarthi. Sarthi means what? He is on the chariot and he is handling this chariot. He is driving the Krishna's chariot. Right? So Gandhiji was not only a leader, he was now treated as a Masiha. Masiha, and no question about it, he was a Masiha, because he was, people were thinking that misery and poverty, he is going to help them overcome all these problems. See, many ordinary people, they did all by themselves, but they will give all the credit to Gandhiji. Whatever they achieved in their local area, they give the credit to Gandhiji. I'll take you to one place which is called Uttar Pradesh now, but previously it was United Provinces. So in there we have Pratapgarh. In Pratapgarh, there were illegal eviction going on of tenants. Illegal eviction is basically forcible and unlawful throwing out of tenants from the land they rent. So this was been done in an illegal way, not in a lawful way. So people, they started a movement against this illegal eviction, and they were successful also. But because of this successful movement, they were crediting this again to Gandhiji. They were doing it for themselves. They made it successful, but credit was Gandhiji, because Gandhiji was all over. His every word was very important. And all these were doing in Non-Violence Act. But there were certain people, like certain tribals and certain peasants also. They were taking Gandhiji's name, but they were not conforming or abiding by the Gandhian ideals or Gandhiji's rules and followings or what he was thinking. They took to violence. That is, Gandhiji was saying non-violence, but they were taking violence. So let me tell you again about this. You see, all the big leaders of that time are shown here. Swaraj Mandir. So this is how you see all in Mahabharata. Krishna was running the chariot, and there was Arjun. So he was also guiding Arjun for the war. So here now the Gandhiji has replaced Krishna, And you see Nehruji also, Jawaharlal Nehru. Here you see Bose Sahab. Here you see Dadabhai Naoroji, C.R. Das, and Motilal Nehruji, Tilak Sahab, and all the big giants are seen here. So you can understand the value of Gandhiji in this struggle movement. Okay. Now let us see this happenings of 1922 and 1929. But this is we are going to take in the next discussion. Till then, thank you so much and take care of yourself.